after all the planning and the preparations, all of the Camino adventures, you know, all the walking and putting up with the snoring, to come home, it is a relief. Although it is a bit of a come down. For a month I had this great sense of freedom. I didn't have any chores to do, except maybe just 10 or 15 minutes of clothes washing, very basic clothes washing in the afternoon. Somebody cooked my dinner for me every night. The albergues are normally very clean. I did not do any cleaning. I had no appointments to make. You just walk, you meet other people and talk to them. You eat whatever you like. When you come home, not only are your freedoms gone, but you're no longer a pilgrim amongst other like-minded people. People no longer talk to you. You know, if you think about how helpful and patient the local Spanish people are, that all comes to an end. Also, you come back to this old world, but you're sort of a new person. I don't mean you've had some fantastic, mysterious spiritual experience, but you know, even the most dull person, if they did something completely new for a month, they would have some new perspectives on the world, wouldn't they, and their place in it. I'll give you an example. Here I am earnestly talking about what to eat on the Camino. So that's before I went on the Camino. It doesn't need any refrigeration or keeping, and altogether it weighs about 1 kilogram. Here I am after I've been on the Camino telling the poor people on YouTube how bored I am with making my own videos. If you ever make videos for YouTube, whatever you do, don't make a series like My Camino week by week. So can you see that? I'm the same person, but just more so. And not only do people change on the Camino, but lots of people go on the Camino because they've sort of already changed. Some people who are between jobs, maybe just retired. Quite a significant number of people just want a rest from their old lives, you know, to get away from their jobs or their families and just have some time to themselves. It's quite possible some people on the Camino changed years ago, but it's only now they had that time to get away from their old lives and to do something different. The people at home though, they haven't changed, they haven't been on the Camino. They expect you to be the old way you used to be. They know exactly what pigeonhole to put you in. They know your place in the hierarchy. Every day on the Camino you meet new people, you're effectively reborn. Nobody knows anything about you. In fact, I'd recommend avoiding people from the same country as you, because people from the same country will suss you out quite quickly. People from another country, you'll be quite mysterious to them. So anyway, the people at home don't change. They want to put you back in the pigeonhole. They mean the best for us, but you know, they don't really know us that well. And in fact, the people you've known the longest, maybe your closest friends, maybe your most immediate family, it's quite possible, because you've known them so long, over the years with your new experiences, you've changed anyway. This might be a good time to review things and have a think. This is what Seneca says about dealing with people that know us. Be deaf to those who love you the most of all. They pray for bad things with good intentions, and if you would be happy, entreat the gods that none of their fond desires for you may be brought to pass. What they wish to have heaped upon you are not really good things. There is only one good, the cause and the support of a happy life. Trust in oneself. And in fact, when you get back from the Camino, you know you're your new self with new plans, how you're going to live your life in the future. New plans and new ideas, they can be quite risky. It's much easier and safer to go back to your old routines, isn't it, and old habits. So for those first weeks or months, it's especially important to, you know, to have a good go at your plans and to try and bring them through. Just as the sick person who has been weak for a long time is in such a condition that they cannot be taken out of the house without suffering a relapse, so we ourselves are affected when our souls are recovering from a lingering disease. Much harm is done by a single case of indulgence or greed. The familiar friend, if they be luxurious, weakens and softens us imperceptibly. The neighbour, if rich, rouses our covetousness. The companion, if they be slanderous, rubs off some of their rust upon us, even though we be spotless and sincere. What then do you think the effect will be on the character when the world at large assaults us? So not only have you got your friends and family who expect you to be the old person to deal with, you've also got the real world. You're no longer a pilgrim. People will no longer stop their cars so you can cross the road if you just stood at the side of the road. To consort with a crowd is harmful. There is no person who does not make some vice attractive to us, or stamp it upon us, or taint us unconsciously therewith. Certainly, the greater the mob with which we mingle, the greater the danger. We're doing new things all the time, not just the Camino. We're changing. We want the change, to be a human you have to grow and to do new things. But all the time you've got your family and friends around you who want you to be the old way. It's quite easy to come back from something like the Camino and think, I'm a new person. There are stories of people just leaving their families completely and going off and doing new things, which to me, that seems like quite a high-risk strategy to do. And in fact, friends and family are precious, so you don't want to go around discarding them. But at the same time, it might be a good time if you find you're telling your friends and family your experiences. When I got back from the Camino, most people in Britain don't know what the Camino is, so I sort of told them some of my stories. People didn't really seem to get it. I've had 1 or 2 comments from people saying, I like that bit you put in the video. Only someone who did the Camino will appreciate what you really meant there. We have to be careful of the things that our friends and family pray for us, because over the years we've changed. We might not want to go back in our pigeonholes or our places in the hierarchy. So, what can you do? Well, here's an example of what I do. I do the Count Everything channel, and on it I discuss Stoicism, climate change, the Camino. Do you know what? I never discuss any of these things with my friends and family at home. Nobody knows about the Count Everything channel. Some people know I do load videos onto YouTube, but they don't know the name of the channel. They don't know the subjects I talk about. And since every minute over 300 hours of video are loaded onto YouTube, it's unlikely they'll find my videos by accident. So I've got this great freedom. I've got my old friends and family, which is great, but I have the Count Everything channel space where I can discuss the things that are useful for me or I'm interested in. Some of my friends I've known since I was a teenager. They drive around in big cars polluting the world and go flying long distances on luxury holidays. I don't care. If I want to talk about climate change, I can do it on the Count Everything channel or talk about the Camino. So you can keep your old friends and family, but also it's a good time to make new friends. And in fact, some of the comments I get from the Camino videos, they're very encouraging, and it's like getting a message from a friend. They understand the Camino experience much better than my friends and family would if I was to discuss it with them. I expect it's an age-related condition as well. If you see a group of teenagers in a cinema, it's quite possible they don't all want to see the same film at the same time. But for a teenager, it's quite important to have a peer group, isn't it? To have friends, to be popular, to be fashionable, all those things teenagers like to do. When you get older, going to the cinema is a good way to have some time to yourself and get away from your friends and family, and you get to see the film that you want to see. So, a new life in an old world. Have some space and time to yourself to do things you want to do. Make new friends. Don't let your old friends and family put you back in that pigeonhole and in your old place in the hierarchy if you don't want to go there. But at the same time, friends and family are very important, so you have to appreciate them. I think the best advice, though, comes from Seneca. It says, there is only one good. The cause and the support of a happy life is to trust oneself.